I'm Jacy from Craft Life, and I'm here today to show you how to make a Rainbow Loom 3D penguin. The supplies you'll need to make this are 1 Rainbow Loom, a Rainbow Loom hook or crochet hook, rubber bands, today I'm using black, white, and orange. And for the eyes, you can use buttons, little tiny buttons. But I'm not going to be using buttons today. I'm going to show you how to make the eyes, like these. And you will also need scissors and something to stuff your penguin with. Today I'm using polyfill, but if you don't have polyfill, you can use napkins, tissues, or even cotton balls. But you can use whatever you would like to stuff your penguin. So please get your supplies and we'll begin. To begin, we want to set up our loom, so we're going to start by taking out our middle row. Then we're going to take this row and we're going to turn it around so that its arrows point to the left. Push this down. Now we're going to flip it over and take out the big blue base. Now we're just going to push this down again, and I just want to show you before we start that we're going to be using pegs from here all the way over to here. And this row here is going to be the front of your penguin, and then coming back this way is going to be the back of your penguin. So we're going to start on these 2 pegs and make a regular X like that and push it down. And for the rest of your pegs, you are just going to make X's and push them down in a counterclockwise rotation. Now we have just laid our bottom row and make sure they are all pushed down. And now we are going to lay our top row. And our top row is just going to be black all the way around. So just lay black in a counterclockwise rotation and do not push this row down. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're just going to bring our bottom 2 loops over the top on all of our pegs. So you're just going to go around and grab your bottom 2 over the top. Bottom 2 over the top. Now you're just going to push this down. Now we are going to be starting the front and the back so that they will be different, and you need to make sure that you stay on the front when you are laying your front rows and you stay on the back when you are laying your back rows. So for this row, we are going to start by laying a black rubber band here. Then we're going to lay 2 white rubber bands. 1, 2. Then we're going to lay our black rubber bands until we get to the other 2 pegs on the other side. So just lay black, and now we are going to go back and we're going to lay 2 whites. So 1, 2, and then we're going to lay a black rubber band on the end. So now this is what the row should look like in the front. So we have our 2 whites, we do all of our blacks, and then we do our 2 whites again. So now we're just going to turn our loom around and we're just going to lay black rubber bands all the way down. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're just going to take our bottom 2 loops over the top on all of our pegs. So you can start anywhere and just go around and take your bottom 2 loops over the top. Now we are just going to push these all down. And we're going to turn our loom around again so that we have our front rows on this side and our back rows on this side. Now we are going to, again, lay a black rubber band from here to here. And this time we are going to be laying 3 white rubber bands. So 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to do our blacks until we get to the other 3 pegs on the other side. Now we are going to lay our whites, so 1, 2, 3. And then finally, we are going to lay our black rubber bands on the end. So this is what this row should look like. We have our black rubber bands, then we have our 3 whites, all of our blacks until we get to the other side, and our 3 white again, and our 1 black. So that was the front row, and then on the back again, we are just going to be laying black rubber bands all the way down. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're just going to bring our bottom 2 loops over the top on all of our pegs. And remember, you can start anywhere. Now we are just going to push these down. And you're just going to make sure again that your loom has your front rows on this side and your back rows on that side. And now we are going to lay a black rubber band on the end again. And we're going to go in 4 white, and then there are going to be 2 black in the middle. And then we're going to do 4 white again. So do your 4 white rubber bands. Then we're going to do our 2 black. And then do your 4 white again. And then on your end, you are just going to lay a black rubber band. And for this row, I just want to show you that we laid a black rubber band. We did 4 rubber bands of white, then 2 rubber bands of black, and then 4 more rubber bands of white, and laid 1 final black rubber band. Now we are going to turn our loom around again, and we're going to do our back row. And it is going to be black all the way down. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're just going to bring our bottom 2 loops over the top on all of our pegs. Now you're going to push these down. Okay, so now you're going to do 3 more rows of what we just did in our last row, which was we laid a black rubber band, then we did 4 rubber bands of white, then we did 2 rubber bands of black, and then we did 4 more rubber bands of white, and laid a final black rubber band. And then again, on the black, you are just going to lay black rubber bands all the way down. Then once you have finished laying your rubber bands, you are going to turn your loom and go in a clockwise rotation, starting from anywhere. And you're just going to bring your bottom 2 loops over the top all the way around and then push them down as you go. So please do 3 more rows of this, and I'll be right back. I've just finished my 3 more rows, and now I'm going to start this section of my penguin. And to do this, it is just going to be white, and we don't have to worry about laying black rubber bands in the front. And all you need to do is lay a black rubber band on the side, and then go all the way down with white. Now on this end, we are going to lay a black rubber band, and we're going to turn our loom around and lay black rubber bands all the way down. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're just going to bring our bottom 2 loops over the top on all of our pegs. And before we do that, I just want to show you that we just did white all the way down in the front and black all the way down in the back. And on each end there is a black rubber band. So now we are going to bring our bottom two loops over the top on all of our pegs. Now you're just going to push these all down. Now you're just going to do the exact same row that we just did, which is lay a black rubber band on the end, then go all the way down the front with white, then lay another black rubber band on the end, and go all the way down the back with black. So please do this for 2 more rows and I'll be right back. I just finished my 2 more rows and now I have 3 rows of all white in the front. And now we are ready to begin this part of our penguin. So to do this, we are going to start off the same way and we're going to lay a black rubber band. Then we're going to go in 2 pegs of black. And then we're going to lay 6 white rubber bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we are going to lay 2 black rubber bands. And then on the end, we are going to lay a black rubber band. So on the front of it, we just did 2 black rubber bands, 6 white rubber bands, and then 2 more black rubber bands. And on each end, we have a black rubber band. So now we are going to turn our loom around and we're going to lay a row of black rubber bands all the way down. Now we have a bottom row and a top row and we're just going to bring our bottom 2 loops over the top on all of our pegs. Now you are just going to push this down. And we're going to turn our loom around. Make sure that you have your front row on this side and your back row on this side. And you're going to do 9 more rows of what we just did. And we're going to lay a black rubber band. Then you're going to lay 2 more black rubber bands. Then you're going to lay 6 white rubber bands, 2 black rubber bands, and then 1 black rubber band on the end. Then you're going to turn your loom around and lay black rubber bands all the way down. So please do the exact same thing that we just did for 9 more rows and I'll be right back. I've just finished my 9 more rows and now I'm ready to hook this all off. And so I'm going to start on this peg, but first we need to fix something on this peg. The top loop on this one needs to be switched to the bottom, and the bottom loop on this one also needs to be switched to the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick the top loop on our finger. So it's on our finger. And we're going to grab the bottom loop with our hook. We're going to place the loop that's on our finger down first. And then we're going to place the loop that's on our hook down next. Now we can hook this properly. We're going to start on this peg. We're going to grab the bottom loop, bring it to the peg next to it, and you know it's your bottom loop when it hooks the loop behind it like this one. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Stick my hook in, grab the bottom loop, bring it to the peg in front of it. It was my bottom loop because I hooked the 2 loops behind it. And I'm just going to continue hooking and checking as I go. Now on your last peg, you're just going to stick your hook in, grab a rubber band, pull this through, place it back on, and pull one loop through the other, and pull that tight. Now we are going to make 2 black double chains, and I have mine already made, but to make these, all you need to do is take 2 rubber bands, place them on your hook, grab 2 more, place them on the top of your hook, slide these 2 onto those 2 rubber bands, place it back on, and pull these 2 loops through the other 2 loops, and pull that tight. I just connected these 4 rubber bands together, and I'm going to grab 2 more and do the same thing. So place them on the top of your hook, slide this on, then place it back on, and pull these 2 through the other 2, and pull that tight. We have 3, and you're going to need to do 7 more of these loops so that you have 10 in total, and you will need to be making 2 chains. I have mine already made, and I used a total of 10 loops and 20 rubber bands. So now we are going to take 1 chain, and we're going to use this one to sew up the top, and we're going to use the other one to sew up the bottom. So with this one, we're going to stick our hook in downward on the first one, pull your chain up until it gets to the second loop on this side. Then for the rest of them, you're just going to stick your hook up and pull your chain down. Stick your hook up and pull your chain down. Stick your hook up and pull your chain down. And just continue this until you run out of room on your chain. When you run out of room, you're just going to pop off the rubber bands that are on your chain. And you're just going to pull your chain so that you have more room for more rubber bands. And just continue to stick your hook up and pull your chain down. Now we are ready to sew up the top with our other chain. Now I'm going to show you how to sew up the top part, but first you'll need a chain that I showed you how to make earlier. And I'm going to show you the best I can. It's kind of going to be hard to see, but if you pull yours up like this, you can see that you have 2 rubber bands sticking out, like these 2 here. And what you want to do is just find a place. You can start anywhere you would like, and you're going to just roll this up and stick your hook up, and you're going to take your chain and you're just going to pull it down. But you're only going to pull it down until the second one here. So now we're going to go all the way around, and what we're going to do is on that row that we were pulling up to see, we're going to stick our hook into those 2 rubber bands and then pull our chain down. We are doing the same thing, but it will not be on the loom, so it will be harder to see. And I'm just going to stick my hook up into those 2 rubber bands, and I'm going to pull my chain down. So stick your hook up, but make sure you only have those 2 rubber bands from that row each time. Then you're going to pull your chain down. And you're just going to continue all the way around. At the top, you don't want to sew it up too much yet, but at the bottom you can. And at the top, we don't want to sew it up because what we're going to do next is put on eyes and a beak. Now we are going to make our eyes and then attach them to our penguin, and I'm going to show you how to make these eyes, these rubber band ones. But if you would like to attach button eyes like these, please check out my 3D owl tutorial. I have a part in it where I show you how to attach buttons to your owl, but you can use it to attach buttons to your penguin. So now I'm going to show you how to make these eyes. You're going to start with your hook. You're going to take one rubber band, twist it on your hook 3 times, like that. Now we're going to take another rubber band. You're going to twist it at the top of your hook 2 times, like that. We're going to pull this one, and I'm just going to slide these off. And then I'm going to place them back on, like that. Now I'm going to take another rubber band, twist it at the top of my hook once, so that I have 2 loops. Then I'm going to pull this and slide this off. And how I slide mine off is I take the bottom and I pull it, and then it slides right off. And then you're going to place it back on, like that. Now we are going to take the end, and you're just going to put it back on your hook. So I just folded it. And I'm going to show you again. So what you do is all those loops at the bottom there, you just place them back onto your hook. Now you are going to take 2 rubber bands, place them on your hook, and you're just going to pull this through. And again, I'm grabbing from the bottom, and I'm just pulling this up like this and over. And I'm going to place those 2 rubber bands back on and pull these 2 loops through the other 2 loops. And you're going to pull that tight. And we've just made one eye, and you need to make another. I have mine already finished here. And if you do not have yours made, please pause the video, make yours, and press play when you are ready. So now that you are done making your eyes, we are going to attach them. And usually what I like to do to make my eyes look good on my penguin is I take them and I put them on this row and that row. So I tie them together in there. And so what I'm going to do is take my hook, and I'm going to stick it up through the top, and I'm going to go to this row, the second row, and I'm going to go down 3. You can go down as many as you want. Then you're going to grab 1 loop from those 2 loops at the bottom there. You're going to pull it through, and then slide the loop that you pulled through onto your hook and hold it. Then you're going to stick your hook back in the row next to it, down at 4 this time, so that they are next to each other. You're going to place that other loop on. Make sure you are still holding the loop that we pulled through, and we're going to pull this through. If you catch any rubber bands like I just did, I'm just going to take them off, And now I'm going to twist it on the inside so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to tie these two together. So make a knot. Make another knot. So now I have one eye on, and I'm going to do my other the same exact way. So I'm going to go to the second row here, go down 3, and stick your hook through. Grab one side of your eye and pull it through. Then you're going to slide this up onto your hook, hold it, and stick your hook back in on the other side on the 4th row and pull that loop down. Now I'm just going to twist that or fold it so that I can make a knot. So I'm just going to make my knot. You do not have to use your hook to make your knot. I just think it makes it easier. And now we have our eyes on, and now we are ready to make the beak. Now we are going to make the beak, and then we're going to attach it to our penguin. So to make the beak, we are going to start off with one rubber band, and we're just going to twist that rubber band around our hook 3 times, like this. And now we're going to grab 2 more rubber bands, place them on your hook, and pull this through. And then you're just going to place it back on. And we're going to grab 2 more rubber bands, place them on our hook, pull this through, place it back on. And we're going to continue this, so grab 2 more, place them on your hook, pull them through, place them back on. Grab 2 more, place them on your hook, pull this through, place it back on, and do it again. Now what you want to do is make sure that you have 5, not including those 3 loops at the bottom here. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're just going to place our hook back onto the other side. Just grab some random rubber bands from that side. So it looks like this. Then we're going to grab 1 rubber band, place it on our hook, pull this through, place it back on, and pull 1 loop through the other. Now we're going to go in down here at the bottom and just stick our hook through some rubber bands. Actually, I stuck mine through the first row at the bottom here, like this. And now I'm going to grab another rubber band, place it on my hook, pull this through, place it back on, and pull 1 loop through the other. So now with these 2 loops, we are going to be attaching it to our penguin. So that is our beak, and we're going to place it on our penguin, and we're going to start in the middle of our second row up, so right around here. I'm just going to stick my hook in there. And I'm going to grab 1 loop, pull it through, and I'm going to slide it up onto my hook, stick my hook back in to another row down there, and I'm going to go in my second row down in the white, grab this rubber band, pull it through, like that. Then we're going to fold this over, and we're going to tie these 2 rubber bands together. Now we are done attaching the beak to our penguin, and now we are just going to stuff our penguin and then attach the rest of the parts. Now we are ready to stuff it, and in this one I used a lot of stuffing, and in this one I kind of made it more of a round shape, so I didn't stuff it as much, and this one is more tall, but you determine the size and shape of your penguin. So I'm going to just start stuffing mine, but before I do that, I need to close up the bottom. So I'm just going to pull on my chain and then tie it in a knot. And then I'm going to tie it in another knot. Now you're just going to take your scissors and you're just going to cut, you choose where, and you're going to cut above where the two rubber bands meet. Then we are going to take our hook, stick it up, and pull each side down. So now they are both pulled down, and we can sew the bottom up with this loop here once it is stuffed. And now we are going to take our stuffing and just put it inside. Now, once you determine that you have enough, you can pull on your chain at the top to close it off. And then you are going to tie yours in a knot. And with that knot, you pull it nice and slow and gently so that the circle closes up. And then you're going to tie it in a knot again. Now we are just going to cut right above where the rubber bands meet. And sometimes the rubber bands fall off. And now what you want to do is just stick your hook in anywhere and stick it up to the top where these rubber bands are. And you're just going to pull them down and let go when you get to the outside. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Pull it down and let go. So now we are going to close up both sides even more. So now we are going to start on the bottom where we have our slip knot, and we're just going to stick our hook in through some rubber bands on this side, and we're going to pull that loop through. Then we're going to go next to it here, pull it through. And then you're going to go in front of it and pull it through. I don't need to sew mine up anymore, so I'm just going to stick mine through the middle. I'm going to stick my hook in through the side and up. And I'm just going to grab that rubber band and pull it down. And let it go. Now the bottom is sewed up and I need to sew up the top, so I'm just going to stick my hook in on any side, grab a black rubber band, stick it on my hook, pull it through, place it back on, and pull one loop through the other. Now I'm going to stick my hook in across from it. I'm going to pull this through. Now you're going to stick your hook in next to it, pull it through, and stick your hook in once again across from it, and pull it through. Now I am pretty much done sewing up the top of mine, and I'm going to stick my hook in through the side up to the top and just pull that rubber band down and let it go. So now you have your penguin, and you need to attach now feet, wings, and a tail. So I'm going to start by showing you how to make the feet. So for the feet, you're going to take one rubber band, twist it around your hook 4 times. You're going to grab 2 rubber bands, place them on your hook. Then you're just going to pull these through. Now you're going to grab 2 more rubber bands, place them on your hook, pull these through, and place them back on. And we're going to do this 2 more times. So grab 2 more, place them on your hook, pull them through, place them back on, grab 2 more, place them on your hook, pull them through, and place them back on. So now I have 4 loops, and I'm just going to slide this up on my hook, and I'm going to do the same thing and make another one of these. So twist it on your hook 4 times. You can do yours 3 if you would like. I'm going to be doing mine 4 times. Then you're going to grab 2 rubber bands, place them on your hook, and you're going to pull these through. And place them back on. Now grab 2 more, place them on, pull these through, place them back on, and continue. Now I have 4 loops on this side, and I'm just going to slide this back on to my hook, like that. So now they're together. And I'm going to grab 2 rubber bands, place them at the top of my hook, pull this through, place it back on, and pull these 2 loops through the other 2 loops. And pull that tight at the top. Now what you're going to do is align them up, and as you can see, I just got these 2 and I put them together at the top. And now I'm going to do the same for these. So I'm going to stick my hook all the way through so that they all line up like that. And I'm going to grab 1 rubber band, place it on my hook, pull this through, place it back on, and pull 1 loop through the other. And pull that tight. So now I have 2 rubber bands at the top and 1 here, and I'm going to do another one there. So I'm going to line them up again, and now I'm going to stick them in these loops so that there is only 1 remaining here and here. Now you're going to grab 1 more rubber band, place it on, and you're going to pull this through, place it back on, and pull 1 loop through the other. So make sure they are pulled tight, and now we're going to pull them up to the top with this one. So I'm just going to stick my hook in that middle here. I'm going to push it back here so I can grab this back one all the way here, and I'm just going to pull that down. So make sure you have pulled that to the top with this one, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one. All I'm going to do is stick it in here and pull this up. So now all of my loops are at the top, and what you want to do now is just collect all of them on your hook. so that you have 4 loops in total there. And you're going to grab 2 rubber bands, place them on your hook, pull these through all of them, place it back on, and pull these 2 loops through the other 2 loops, and pull that tight. Now you need to make another one, and I have mine already made here. And I'm just going to fix mine up. And now I'm going to show you how to attach these to your penguin. To attach our feet, we are going to turn our penguin upside down, and we're going to take our hook and we're going to stick it around the middle, but towards one side more. You can choose which side you want to do first. And we're going to turn our foot upside down like that so that it will sit when we put it on. And we're going to stick these 2 loops on our hook. And then we're going to pull them through. And we're just going to pull these all the way through. Make sure you pull all the loops through. And you're just going to place those rubber bands over your foot. And now I double mine, so I'm going to wrap it around. Like that. And now your foot should sit like that. And now we're going to attach our next foot. And we're going to stick it in around the middle, but on to the other side. I'm going to grab my foot, turn it upside down, grab the 2 loops, pull them through, but make sure you don't grab any other rubber bands. And then you're going to pull all those loops through. Make sure you give it a nice pull. And you're going to place them on and twist them around. Now we are done adding the feet, and we're going to move on to the wings. Now we are going to give our penguin some wings like I did in this one. And so to make our wings, we are going to leave our rainbow loom in its staggered formation, and we're going to go down and lay 1 rubber band there, 1 rubber band here, and 1 rubber band here. Now in the middle, we are going to go down 8 pegs, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and continue. Now on either side we are going to go down until you get to this peg. Then once you are on this peg, you are going to lay a rubber band from here to close off that side. And now I'm going to go down on this side and do the same thing. And now I'm going to lay a rubber band from here to here. Now I'm going to turn my loom around, and I'm going to make triangles, and these triangles are going to be doubled, so I'm going to twist them around my finger. So twist a rubber band around your finger and make a triangle on these 3 pegs. And you're going to continue that. And we are going to stop on these 3 pegs so that these 3 pegs don't have one. And please do not push these triangles down, leave them above. Now we're going to take a black rubber band and we're going to twist it on this last peg 3 times. And now we're going to hook. So we're going to stick our hook in, pull back the cap band, grab the top rubber band, and it should go to this side. And now we're going to stick our hook in, pull back the cap band, grab our next rubber band. It should go here. Pull it back and grab the last one, and it should go here. So this is what it should look like now, and we're going to go down each side and we're just going to hook them. So just bring the bottom loop and bring it to the peg in front of it. Now in the middle, we're going to go down. Now we can bring this one diagonal, and we have our last side to sew up, and then we are done. And then bring this one diagonal. Now we're going to stick our hook in, grab a rubber band, and you're just going to twist it around your finger 3 times. Don't leave it on for too long. And then you're automatically going to place it on your hook like this. Pull this up through, place it back on, and now you are just going to pull these 3 loops through the other 3 loops, and be as careful as you can to do this. If it is too tight for you, you can wrap it around your finger twice instead of 3 times, and then you're just going to pull this off. Now you need to make another one. I have one already finished, and now I'm going to show you how to attach them to your penguin. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to place it on my finger, but you don't want to leave this on your finger for too long. So have your penguin ready. And I'm going to do it on this row, and I'm going to go up here. You can do it anywhere you would like for yours. So I'm just going to stick it in, grab these 3 loops here, pull them through, and then on this side I'm just going to stick my hook through. It doesn't matter how many, and I'm just going to lift these over and pull it through. So now this arm dangles, and if you don't like it dangling, you can find a way to sew yours up, but I like mine dangling. So now I'm just going to go across the face on that row, and I'm going to find where I need to put my next one. So I'm going to estimate around here, and if you don't think so, you can look in the front and just move it around. But now I'm going to take this side and grab these 3 loops. It may take a little while to get all of them because they are so tight. Okay, so now once you have them on your hook, you're going to pull them through, place it back on some rubber bands on that side, and just pull these over. And pull it through. So now you are done putting on wings, and all we have left is the tail. Now we are going to make this little tail on the back. It helps it sit, and for this tail you will need your rainbow loom set up in a staggered formation, and all we're going to do is go down to that side, go down this side, and go down this side. And now we are going to go 5 pegs in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to do the same to these sides. And then we're going to go in diagonally and then go down. And then once again, go in diagonally. Now we're going to make triangles, and these triangles are going to be doubled, so we're going to twist them around our finger and then place them down. So I'm going to take a rubber band, twist it on my finger, and just make a triangle on these 3 pegs. Then we're going to make another triangle here, and make sure you double both of those. So now on this peg down here, we are going to take 1 rubber band and twist it around 3 or 4 times. I'm doing mine 3. And now we can start hooking. So you're going to start by pulling back your cap band, And then we're going to grab the top rubber band. It should go to this peg. Now we're going to pull back the cap band, grab the next one. It should go to this one. And pull it back and grab this one. And I'm going to hook down the middle now. And then I'm going to hook down each side. And you're just going to grab the bottom loop and bring it to the peg in front of it. So now on this last peg, you're going to stick your hook in, grab a rubber band, and we're going to twist it around our finger 3 times. Then stick it on our hook, pull this up through, and place it back on. And now we're going to pull these 3 loops through the other 3 and be super careful. And like I said before, if you don't feel comfortable with doing 3 loops, you can do just 2 and just wrap it around your finger twice. Now we're just going to pull this off. And now we have just finished making the tail, and now we need to attach it. So I'm going to go 8 fishtails up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I want mine in the middle, so the middle for me is around here. I'm going to stick mine here actually, because it looks pretty centered. And now I'm going to pull this through. So now it is just hanging there, and you don't want your tail to just hang. So what we are going to do now is sew it to the back a little bit, and all I'm going to do is stick my hook through some rubber bands in the middle of my tail, and then go down with your hook and grab some there. So now we have our tail on our hook and some rubber bands that match up with the back of it, and we're just going to grab one rubber band and pull this through all of these rubber bands. And now we're going to hold this rubber band here, stick it back in, pull this loop through, and this is going to be like the hardest part, and we're going to pull this through, pull one loop through the other. And now what I like to do is just take my hook from the back, from the front I mean, stick it through all the way up to where I made that slip knot, and just pull this through and let go. So that now it will sit and you are done. This is what they look like when they're done, and if you want to attach button eyes, remember it is in my 3D Rainbow Loom owl tutorial, and I show you how to attach them to the owl, but you can use that to attach them to your penguin. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you make some, I'd love to see them. My Instagram is CraftLifeUSA, so please tag me in a photo. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, pin it on Pinterest, and subscribe right here on YouTube. I hope you're living a craft life just like me. Thanks for watching. Bye!